So let's talk a little bit about the machine learning enhancing AML example. Here we have some pains and challenges that the industry is facing, especially when AML is concerned. So basically, in recent years, we have seen a lot of changes for banks, but the whole financial sector. And with those changes, that on the level of the crisis that came, on the level of the technological changes, they also caused a certain increase in supervision and regulation. Nowadays, we can see the laws, anti-money laundering laws changing as the financial crimes and money laundering are changing and increasing. So they are becoming more and more sophisticated and difficult to detect, and the supervisors and regulators have to evolve with those changes to accompany the possible crimes. Also, the new products like digital currencies and online payments system, mobile banking facilitates those type of crimes when there is not that much traceability and a lot of anonymous transactions and anonymous person taking a part in the process. Main pains of the compliance itself, it pays from the regulations, so clearly it's regulatory pressure. It's a cost of the compliance itself, but also cost of the declining revenues, huge penalties and loss of reputation that endangers the sector. We can hear all the time the news about the institutions that were being fined for not complying with all parts of anti-money laundering or letting skip some corruption and some not legal situations. But also, as I mentioned, whole transactions and fraud and cybercrimes increase its complexity, and we try to maximize the efficiency and effectiveness of the process. Here, it's large help technology and artificial intelligence, machine learning that we talk today about. Trying to simplify the complex, obtained data and provide auditable evidences. This is very important part of anti-money laundering. It's important to have the evidences of the process, of the data, of the procedures. It's very evidence-based process. And we want, as mentioned earlier, avoid the excessive de-risking because it also has its cost, and it's very important to keep the process optimized and tuning. Here, as we talked today, automation is the key, and only through the automation can we get to the digital transformation. Let's talk a little bit first about rule-based solution. We have solutions that tackles all the part of anti-money laundering. It's integrated solution. It has everything since client screening, monitoring, all audits, notification, workflows that define alerts, report, and training. And what's important that we already mentioned in our talk, the calibration of the solution. So this is rules-based solution. It has its set of rules. However, even in this situation, it is possible to define parameters for type of the risk or for type of population, to calibrate the number of alerts and to simulate how, for instance, how some change in parameterization will result in the number of alerts generated. However, it has to be within the threshold defined by the regulators. And we can see different steps of the process, starting with client screening against the list, the watch, sanctions, politically exposed, and all the information related with the client and risk of the client. The identification and data requirements for the client. Strong part of anti-money laundering is part of Know Your Customer. You have to be sure that you have all the updated information, all updated data, all updated documents about the client, and the procedures to verify or periodical information updates, or documents when they are getting to extinct, and you have to get the new ID or new passport or whatever documentation was required. Part of transaction monitoring here, the question of treatment false positive, that you can play by calibration simulations, pattern identification in real time, and possibility to adjust for necessity for population type, because each entity, each institution has its own client set, and it's important to application being able to be adjusted of the needs of the defined client, and not just any institution. Part of alerts, of course, that's the whole point of the process of the screening and monitoring, to generate alert that can be later prioritized. They have their own workflow, and you can also control them through notification and SLEs, and in general cost control relating the whole process of analyzing, because it's the cost we want to cut. And once again, audits and report, and we are talking about here statistical report, regulatory report, procedures, risk factor. Once again, AML, it's evidence-based question. We have to have evidence of every step of the process that we are executing, and the solutions provide that options. And in the end, it's intuitive and flexible solutions, because the most important part is to be easy use and automation, and not adding work through the complex procedures or complex workflows. This was the rule-based solution, and on the top of that we have an engine of machine learning that is based on the data that is already provided by and dealt in with our solutions, with the functionalities and features we already discussed. And in the case of this engine, here of course the main objective is, on the one hand, false positive reduction, but the true objective is to pinpoint true positives. You want to minimize the possibility of true positive not being recognized much more than reduce the false positive, although this is the final outcome of the process. And during our studies and our implementation, for instance, here's an example of one of the examples, and we were able to define 88% of the process as false positives, and only 12% of the alerts as the alerts that required more scrutiny and contain a subset of true positive. So just to structure it a little bit, those are four, I would say, pillars of our machine learning journey in anti-money laundering. So first, prioritization, learn from past alerts and decision, and prioritize the alerts that are being generated, and being probability of being true positive, and support the user decision. Here we needed to classify and train the model with the real bank information, and use those models to predict new cases. The machine learning, it's one part, it's the process and the outcome. However, it's very important in the financial sector to justify the outcome. We cannot say that this is not money laundering because not. We have to say why, and it has to be understandable by the person. It should have more natural language explanation. Of course, you control the variation and the data, and it should be unbiased, as we mentioned earlier in our talk, unbiased data that you are feeding your model. However, in general, the machine learning is a little bit black box solution. These quite complex models behind it. So we need also the way to interpret them and explain why the model took the decision and what were the parameters that oblige the model to decide. And the last part, a little bit extra added, it's the outliners. Here, before this, we were talking more about cutting out false positives and supporting decision of the user in order to proceed with anti-money laundering procedures and verification checks. Here, in the terms of outliner, we are talking a little bit different situation. Here we are finding in our data, in our transactions, some strange behaviors. Strange transactions, strange behaviors can be strange for the client, can be strange for client type, can be strange for the bank itself. So basically we are trying to find something that doesn't fit. It does not mean that it's money laundering. However, as we discussed earlier, a little bit deficiency and fault of the rules-based solutions is that it only catches the things we already know that are money laundering. So basically, the legislation and the banks and the rule-based solutions are responding to the situation that were already verified and or imagined. Here we can find situations that we did not imagine that can be and still can be money laundering, and tackle them and create the alerts to discover much more earlier and much more easier the situation where money laundering has place. So thank you very much for being with us today. It was really great to have you, and if you have any doubts or questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you very much.